Hello, Bucs fans. Welcome back to Real Bucs Talk. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Buccaneers edition of Anthony Walker Jr. and what does that mean for the Buccaneers linebacker room as they move forward into the 2025 season. So, looking at Anthony Walker, he's a linebacker coming over from Miami, signing with the Bucs. He's been in the NFL for a little bit, and he's had starting experience throughout his tenure. Started out with the Indianapolis Colts and had some really good seasons there, as you see on the screen. Had three consecutive solid seasons for the Colts, and then ended up signing as a free agent with the Cleveland Browns and has been a teammate of Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield. So there is a connection there and played pretty well with the Browns that first season, had over 100 tackles and did some good things. And then in the 22 season, unfortunately got injured. And he's been kind of dealing with injuries here on and off for the last couple of years. So last year for Miami, he played in 14 games. I think he made 8 starts on the year and put up decent numbers. And I think when healthy, this guy is a good quality linebacker. I don't think he will be penciled in as the starter for the Bucs. I think he's just a good quality linebacker to have as your linebacker 3 or 4 that can come in and supplement whether you have Servasi or Levante out there and maybe one of them gets injured. You have a capable backup plan to be put in place. So that's exciting. And when you look at the Buccaneers defensive depth chart, I think you have to be excited about the linebacker room as it stands now. It's definitely upgraded from a depth standpoint. You have Servase, who looks to be fully healthy, and I think the Buccaneers are counting on big things from him this year. They were expecting him to take over the starting linebacker role at, especially after that Detroit game in which he played really well, and then unfortunately got injured, but should be back to 100% fully, and hopefully he can bounce back in a strong way. Then you have Anthony Walker Jr., you have Levante David coming back, so he's going to start, and then obviously Deion Jones they brought back, who showed some promising things in that the last part of the season, especially in that playoff game. He did some good concepts and did some good things on the field. So you feel good about, or at least you feel more confident about linebacker 3 and 4. And I find it interesting that PFF came out with this article back in 2024 before last season, and they had Anthony Walker Jr. as a potential fit for the Buccaneers uh, as a free agent. And they talked about, maybe replacing Levante and Devin White that offseason. Obviously, Devin White moved on, and Anthony Walker was really good as far as a coverage linebacker in the box, graded pretty well. And that's something that he does well on tape. And I think that's a big area emphasis that the Buccaneers are trying to improve. It's that coverage ability in the middle of the field because we saw last year it was definitely lacking. And Walker Jr. is definitely a guy who can be savvy enough and understand, where to drop on the field, where to be, and understand how to play his leverages and know where his help is at. So I think that's important. And then this tweet here by John Vogel, I thought was pretty cool to see. Tampa Bay is working to strengthen their pass coverage. And he talks about Anthony Walker, and that's something that he has done well so far in his career. So I think that's a big benefit to the linebacking position. I think that will definitely play a role as we get closer to the 2025 NFL draft, as the Buccaneers will most likely be looking at a linebacker in the early rounds if the right one falls to them. Obviously there's been big talk about Jahad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama. He could be in play, especially at 19th overall. Definitely fits the mold of what the Buccaneers are looking for. He's a very smart, intellectual linebacker as far as when it comes to coverage and ability to drop back. And he can, do athletic things on the blitz. He can do a lot of different things of that nature and be a force. Again, still things he has to learn and develop as far as processing and overall linebacker play, but it has a lot of upside that could be definitely enticing to the Buccaneers at 19th overall. Again, if they're looking for someone later, in round two, maybe they look at Carson Schlesinger, who really plays the linebacker position well, has good instincts, knows how to, hit the gaps and also play in pass coverage as well. So this guy could be, a potential target for day two pick, who we've talked about. And then obviously, Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss is definitely one of our favorites here at Real Bucks Talk. He's another one that can be that blitzing linebacker. He can definitely play both linebacker spots, whether it's the Mike or the Will, just like the other two can. And Chris Paul is probably the most complete linebacker right now as far as what he does on the field. Like his tape is very clean, knows how to play the position. So any of those I think would be really good picks for the Bucks, and we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. There is also opportunities that they wait on the position and maybe attack it later on in day three. But right now, with the addition of Anthony Walker Jr., I really like the move. I think it's a smart play to get a veteran in here, has played the position, understands it very well, and can come in and just help the floor of that position to raise it, higher than what it was last year under KJ Britt. So with that said, I think the Bucks are doing the right moves so far in free agency that we talked about in an earlier video this past week. They're really setting themselves up to attack the draft at linebacker and also in the secondary. But again, it's not a position where they have to force those spots. They can wait and make sure the right player comes to them. Will that be round one? We'll just have to wait and see. But right now, you have to feel good with this addition. I think it's again a smart move, and I'm going to have a warm spot for Anthony Walker Jr. because he shares the same birthday as me, which is pretty awesome. Born on August 8th. So shout out to Anthony if you watch this video. We're already big fans here at Real Bucks Talk. Um, but yeah, I mean, just I would expect these types of moves going forward, especially after the draft. I could see the Buccaneers adding more guys like this that maybe become available. But right now, you have to be excited about what the Buccaneers have added so far, and we'll see how it plays out in the upcoming draft where they attack these positions. Is probably very likely. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts of Anthony Walker Jr. coming aboard. How do you feel about the linebacker room? How early should the Buccaneers attack this position in the upcoming draft? Let us know your thoughts of how you see it playing out. And with that said, until the next one.